the stupidest thing I have ever seen in my life. If that is that you have to click the well every time you go to town. How stupid is that, brother? Who came up with that shit? Hey guys, I have this video here that was recommended to me that is called Path of Exile 2 feedback after 500 hours, 5 huge changes we need in PoE 2. I also have over 500 hours, and I wanna see, like, the part that captured my attention was not the feedback after 500 hours, but this 5 huge changes we need in PoE 2. I wanna see what are the 5 huge changes we need, because I do think that PoE 2 is a really good game. You guys know that I am in love and addicted and hooked on the game, and at the same time, I also can think about 5 things that can be improved in the game. So I want to see if we are like in tandem on what the game needs, you know. So let's see what he has to say about it.
What's up, everyone? Path of Exile 2 has now been out for 2 months. And in those 2 months, I've played this pretty much every single day. I've got over 500 hours in the game. I've done...
It is now 3 months. And I have also played every single day in those 3 months. And I am playing PoE 1 now too. So it is insane. Like the PoE franchise like completely captured me because of how good is PoE 2.
Pretty much everything I can think of to do in the game. I've leveled multiple characters. I've played a ton of endgame. You know, I've beat the Arbiter of Ash, the end boss. I've done pretty much everything there is to do, and I'm still logging in every day to play more because I'm really enjoying the game. So overall, I think this game's incredible. I love the game. I think it's done an amazing job, and I think the game is going to be around for years, and it's just going to get better and better and better. But the game has problems.
Nice.
The game has some big problems in its design and some big problems in its end game gameplay, and that's what I want to talk about today. Just
okay, so do things like me. The game is awesome. The game is insane. I am hooked and addicted to the game. But we of course know the game has some problems. But hey, everything can be fixed. So we know this can and will probably be fixed, and we are just giving the feedback so it happens. But we already know that the game is fucking insane, right?
Some big things that I personally think need changing in the game based on my experience with the game. And if you can relate to any of this, let me know down below. And if there's any big things that you've encountered during the game that have either put you off, made you, you know, part ways for a while, let me know. I'm really curious what people think right now. And I think it's good to talk about feedback right now during, you know, this kind of testing period. But let's get into that.
Oh, and the early access is for that, my dude. Part of the early access is the feedback, so that when the game actually releases free to play for everybody, and that will be the big moment for the game. We think that the game has had this big moment because the game reached 500k, but it was just the early access with 20 to 30% of the game. The big push for the game will come with the free to play release. That is when they are going to drop the big marketing. That is when they are going to try to bring as many people as possible. A lot of people that didn't want to spend the $30 are going to try the game. That is the moment when we are going to see the impact. So that is the moment when it is really, really important that everything is crisp, that everything is neat, that everything is polished. For that to happen, this is the moment to give feedback.
Okay, so I want to start first with what I think is the #1 issue. The #1 big problem with the game, I think, is this: the map. The map is,
okay,
if you've only played a little bit of the game, if you're watching this and you haven't really pushed endgame much, this is the map. This is where everything happens. This is where all of your endgame is, and it's kind of the create your own endgame. You go around, you place waystones in all these different points, and you create your own maps, and it isn't good. Okay, so here's the problem with it. Say you're trying to run some endgame content. You know, you've got breaches, rituals, expeditions. Say you're trying to run breaches. They're fun. And if I was to run a map like this is going to be a very fun map. This is going to be a very fun breach, you know. Chance to spawn additional breaches, more rare monsters, more monster density. That's going to be a very, very fun.
Okay, he's going to complain about layouts, and this makes me want to play maps that I don't want to play. Is that what you are going to say?
Map. And at the end game of Path of Exile 2, I want to run that back to back. I want to run that, and then I want to run another, and I want to do that all day. I want to farm breaches like that all day long and just have fun and get loads of rewards and loads of loot, because that's how ARPGs work. You get your character to a good point where you can do the really fun content, and you do the content.
Okay.
Not in Path of Exile 2. To get a map like that, First thing you've got to do is set up all these towers. So to get all of these different affixes and all these different things.
I'll be honest, and I have said it before, I like the tower system. People crucify me for this because they think that this requires a crazy amount of setup. Brother, it requires a crazy amount of setup if you want everything to be perfect and hyper-use, hyper-optimized. You don't have to do that, and it is not even necessary for good currency games. Dude, just pass through the map, pick good nodes, clear the tower, put a good precursor tablet, keep clearing maps, do the cool mechanics that you like. You are going to farm. You don't have to study the fucking map and say, I am going to pick this node first, and then this one, and then if I clear all these maps, these nodes are going to get just because they are the only nodes that are... You can do it, and if you have fun doing that, hey, do it. But it is not necessary. I have been hearing people saying that the system sucks because it forces you to do that. It doesn't force you to do that. It incentivizes you to do that. That is true. It incentivizes you to do it, but it doesn't force you to do it. These are two very different things. I may be wrong in here because, as I said before, if everybody hates it, maybe I am the one that is wrong, and GGG has to do something about it if 90% of the player base hates the feature. But I don't think that it is that bad. Plus, again, this is a mechanic that is tied to towers, but it is not necessarily the towers themselves. Because you can change here the tower for a singular node. You can change here. You can even not run the tower, but you have to reach this node to be able to pull the precursor tablet. We are talking about here about the system of putting the precursor tablet and using the nodes around it, right? We are not talking about running the tower itself. That system, a lot of people hate it because they have to solve the puzzle of using of the maps around it. You don't have to do that shit. You don't have to do that shit. But a lot of people like doing it. And then like players that are not blasters see at the blasters doing it and they think that they need to do this in order to play the game correctly. No, you don't need to do it. But again, maybe I am wrong. Maybe people will hate it still, and maybe they have to change it somehow. Me personally, I don't think this is a problem. And if I would choose 5 things to fix in the game or to change in the game, changing the precursor tablet system wouldn't be one of those 5. I will fix a lot of stuff in the end game, but that wouldn't be one of them. Yo, what, my dude? How you doing, brother? I need 0.2. Oh, brother, me too. I am waiting for that shit. Like, come on! And I am hoping they don't delay it. You know, I'm hoping they don't delay it. But on the contrary, they say, oh, this is coming 15th of March, like 2 weeks from now. That would be insane. PoE1 players are too obsessed with perfect runs and layout. Yes, brother. Like, these are people. There are people out there. Not every PoE1 player does it, but there are a lot of them who do it. They run the same map over and over again. The same map, and you run the same map 100 times in a row. I can't think how that is fun. And I think that GGG released this new Atlas system to avoid people doing that. Brother, because running 100 times in a row, the same map is boring as fuck, but people do it because it is the correct way of playing the game. Well, we are going to remove the correct way of playing the game so people don't run 100 times the same map in a row and get bored, because that is the most stupid shit I have ever heard in my fucking life. So maybe the fix is not perfect yet, but hey, they are trying to do something about it. So yes, let's see what happens.
Things affecting that node, you need all these towers to overlap. So you see here we've got like 4 towers all overlapping these big auras. So first things first, you've got to find a cluster of towers. So let's go over here. We've got to work our way over here, and we'd have to do all of these maps all the way here to get to this cluster. Then when you get to this cluster, you've then got to do all those towers. And towers suck. There's nothing in them. You just climb a tower, press a button, and put a precursor tablet in.
Okay, this was 3 weeks ago, I believe. So the change for towers was still not announced. And I told you guys when I reacted to the change to the towers, one of the reasons people complain about towers is because towers don't do anything, right? You put whatever waste on the most stupid one and you run through them and get to them just to activate the tower. But now towers are an actual map It is just that it has the precursor shed at the end. So now you don't complain about towers, right? Because they are an actual map. You can complain about the system that we discussed earlier, which is the precursor system with the using of the maps in the Atlas, but not the tower itself, right? Wrong! People are pussy bitches because of layouts, and now they are complaining that the towers still suck because the layouts of the towers suck, and they don't even know if GGG is going to improve the layouts somehow of the towers. They don't know shit because they have not announced shit for the 0.2. And even if they don't, stop crying about fucking layouts, brother. That is the lamest fucking crying that I have ever seen. People crying about layouts. I don't know. Maybe it is because I don't care about layouts and I am the one that is wrong. Because if everybody else thinks that is wrong, maybe it is wrong, but I don't know. I don't know. The point is that yes, for me, I am in the future and I know they already changed this, but he didn't know this was going to be changed. So he's going to point out that towers in its current state are stupid because you don't run them like a map, but in season 0.2, they are going to be run like a map, which in my opinion is a huge improvement. Now, if you want them to improve the precursor tablet system that we just discussed, again, I told you, these are two systems that are tied together, but can be changed independently. And they can be untied too, of course.
So towers suck. So you've got to get there, put the towers in, and then it will reveal a bunch of nodes and add a bunch of breaches to those nodes. So when you've got over there, you've set it all up and you've put a bunch of breaches on the map and they've all got these cool...
Not necessarily breaches, by the way. I guess because he's using with breach, but you can do it with Delirium, you can do it with Ritual, you can do it with whatever you want.
Effects. You're good to go, right?
Even bosses.
No, because now you need really good waystones. Now you need to get really good waystones, which means you've got to go in your stash and you've got to go to, we don't have a map tab, so you've got to go to your tab and you've got to get your waystones out, you've got to get them to tier 15, and then you've got to start working on them. So, you know, we take one, this one has monsters deal more cold, okay, we'll empower it. More beasts, okay, we'll regal it. Okay, monsters deal more damage, okay, that gives us nothing. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, we'll get this one. Oh, it's bad, it starts bad. We'll put this on it. More pack size, we'll put this on it. More rare chest. Okay, that doesn't work either. So now you have to spend ages getting some good waystones. To even get into one map is so much work when all you want to do is have fun. And
it is not a hard job, and you can have fun while traversing them. Why are you telling me that it is not fun to just blast whatever map you have in front? I don't understand this perspective. Again, I feel like I am crazy, and I will start... Maybe I need to stop saying this, because if people don't find it fun, I am the one who is crazy. But I don't care about the layouts, I don't care about the maps. I put the waystone, I click the map, I go in, I kill everything, I pick up my shit, I continue moving forward. I path toward towers, but I don't clear around the tower. I just path toward the tower, do the tower, which now in season, where in the new patch is going to be better, the tower itself. I put the precursor tablet that I want, which is usually a breach. I like breach, I like ritual, and I like also the new boss precursor tablet. I put that in, it uses my maps, I do the ones that I like, and that's it. That's it. Like, plus you don't have to hyper optimize one zone, because now that you have to look for the fucking citadels, you are always on the move. You are always on the move. I never stay on one zone because I am looking for the citadels and I am always on the move. Unless you are like hyper fixated on farming, you don't care about citadels, and you want to hyper use every node and then use the currency to buy the fragments for the citadel, then I can understand you hyper using everything. Bro, what is this shit that is here on the screen? What is this hentai monster? What is this shit? Okay, so I have a monster here on the screen. Let me show you. What is this hentai shit monster, dude? What is this? But okay, I will have to stop talking about the tower shit because I feel like I am insane and everybody is right. Like, I don't know. I hope GGG has the better insight than me and they identify the good feedback, the bad feedback, what they should do, what they shouldn't do. I do like what they are trying to do. They are trying to avoid monotony in mapping. They are trying to avoid people spamming just one map. They are trying to create variety. But if people say that it's not fun, hey, tweak it. Not make it the same as before. Keep the variety, but tweak it so that in the variety, every is fun. Maybe we have to reach that compromise. Like if people are saying that to have fun in one map, they have to not have fun in 3 maps. I can think that that is stupid, but if they are saying it, hey, their sentiments are valid, then maybe instead of changing the whole system, because changing the whole system means going back to PoE 1 where there is no variety because people blast the same map over and over again, then what you need to do is, if we still have one map that is fun, what you have to do is convert these 3 maps that are not fun into 3 fun maps, and then everybody's going to be happy, right? That is what I think they should be doing. Let's see what they actually do. And that is it. That is it. Because if I sit here and say this is not a problem and they don't do anything about it, people are going to keep complaining and they are going to continue not being happy. So the compromise is what I'm saying, having the insight. Where if they say 3 of the 4 are not fun, let's make the 3 fun. And we still keep the new system. I think that is the best compromise we can get in here.
Could end up with a node like this, which is a Valve factory. And that means that, you know, you're just going to be looking at all these little corridors, and all these corridors are terrible for breaches because they don't open up.
Brother, I said I didn't want to talk more about this, but this pisses me off. I don't care about Valve Factory. I run it. I don't give a fuck about Valve Factory or Meyer or... I don't care. I just play that shit, dude. And again, you are metagaming thinking about breach. Oh, corridors are not good for breaches. You don't know if breaches are going to be the same in the future. In fact, in my opinion, breaches shouldn't even exist in PoE 2 because they are antithetical to the vision of PoE 2. But that is another conversation, and I don't think they are going to take them out of the game. But they might nerf them so that it is not the more used mechanic and people move on to do other shit. You are contextualizing the whole fucking argument around breaches being the best fan, which is independent to this patch. Maybe they will keep being the best fan. We don't know. But again, you are judging the entire layout of the entire game around this one mechanic.
And give you the full thing you need for a breach. You could sell towers like this, and you think, oh, you know, you see this, you go, I've got 5 towers over here. You work your way over, that's a mountain, and that's an ocean, and the nodes don't even line up. So how do I even get from this tower down there? Oh, none of these nodes even line up. So you have to go all the way around. So the map is just constantly working against you. And I think this whole mapping experience is just I wouldn't say scrap it, but take it really back to the ground up of what makes an ARPG fun. What do players want to do? What is the fun part of this end game? And then work from there.
The fun part is not caring about that shit, just go in and kill monsters. But people want to hyper optimize everything, dude. And I am not saying don't optimize, but it is like going for a 98% to a 99% is not doing shit for you, you know? Maybe I am wrong. I can be wrong. And again, I will repeat it for the 5th time. If everybody thinks that I'm wrong, I am probably wrong. I just personally don't see it like as a problem.
Okay, that's by far the #1 thing I think that needs changing. The number two problem I would say is crafting. I think crafting is in a
crafting, you put it in the top 5. That you put it in the top 5. Because crafting is not existent. There is no crafting. There is identifying with extra steps. Now, this one I agree completely. But also, we already have the answer for this by GGG. They basically said that crafting feels like that because it is incomplete, because they will be adding more stuff to crafting with time. So we feel like it sucks because it is incomplete, basically. So we have to wait and see what they add, because maybe when they actually add everything, it still sucks. GG can always adjust mechanics so they work better with non-optimal layouts. Exactly. And that is what they should do. Make fun the maps that people say that are not fun, instead of deleting and changing the entire game, just make them fun. And that is it. Make them fun in the first place. But with crafting, let's see how they improve it with time, with stuff that they add. Maybe they add the stuff and it sucks still, but we are still not at that place, so we can't say anything about it yet, you know.
Bad spot. We're not crafting, are we? We're not crafting. This is what we're doing. Say you want a quarterstaff.
We're not crafting.
You grab a bunch of quarterstaffs. You go to your stash, and you just do this. Da 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 da. Then you go like this, and then you go, okay, well that's bad. That's bad.
Identifying with the
that's bad. That's pretty good. Okay, let's do this. Okay, now that's pretty good. Okay, I've crafted this. I've crafted a good item. That's all we're doing. Obviously, that's a little bit exaggerated, but there's not really any, you know, deterministic crafting.
There are people that are going to say that no, use omens, brother. Omens are they are inexistent. They don't exist. They are so expensive that you could argue that they don't exist. Nobody is using fucking omens, and even using them, it doesn't guarantee you anything. It is still random shit. And by the way, it is always going to be random shit because EE themselves said that they don't want deterministic crafting, that it is always be somewhat random, but they are going to like improve your likelihood of hitting the thing you want, you know.
We can't craft with a focus. We can't use our time and our resources and our energy to make the items we want. You know, we can put an essence on it. Say you want to make a wand with lightning damage, spell, crit, all that stuff. You can put a lightning essence on it when you first start, and then you can use omens at the end, and you can kind of hope for the best. But there's nothing where you can say, if I grind this all day, I can add this to my item. If I do this all day, I can do this to my item. And I think that's what the game needs. It needs a crafting table. It needs a set of things to grind, a set of things to farm that can then result in the things you want. Okay, next up is a problem that I think we're going to see with the story. And going...
Your game sound is a bit loud now. Brother, I reduced it and I don't know why it went back up. But yes, you are right. I am sorry, dude. In 300 hours playtime, I only got one. Brother, from the Wood Omens, I didn't have even one. But I got an audience with the king that I sold for 9 divines. So that was cool. But I didn't get one single omen, one single cool omen, and you have to buy them, and they are expensive, and that sucks. The thing with crafting sucks. And there is nothing to say about it more than hope that the new things that GE adds help and fix the problem with crafting. Now he's going to talk about the story. Like, there are many things that I could change in PoE, but I didn't think about touching the story at all. Let's see what he says about the story.
Through the story multiple times over time, I think is going to be a big problem. So I will say, I think the story was fantastic. We've got 3 acts right now. Each one was very different maps, different biomes, different monsters, different bosses, and each one feels very unique to itself. Going from the farm, the train in Act 2, and then the Aztec theme in Act 3. It was fantastic. And when we have 6, I think the whole world is going to feel amazing. The problem comes with leveling alts. I've got 3 characters right now that are like fully through the game. They finished all of the acts and they can do maps and they're at endgame. And I've got no desire to make another. I really want to make, a gemling. I want to make a ranger. And I just don't want to play through the whole story again because it's time consuming, it's tedious, and it's not fun.
Okay, so he's arguing for a campaign skip, maybe. I don't agree with this point. In fact, I have a whole video talking about why repeating the campaign is the way to go. It is a long talk, so I won't repeat everything in here. But basically, I do think that campaign skips are... I used to think that they were fine. But when playing Diablo 4, I realized Diablo 4 has a campaign skip. I realized it is a bad move, and I realized playing the campaign again is the correct move. And if the campaign is good, you don't feel as much this way. In fact, I like the campaign in PoE 2, and I have played it, I believe, like 18 times, I don't know, for each ascendancy. And I had fun with each one of them. If you repeat the same fucking build, maybe you are bored. But I always play a different build in each of the playthroughs, and I have fun every single time. And this is even repeating the campaign with Cruel, which I'll be honest, that part is a pain in the ass. I have told it before. I have said this before, like, yes, repeating the campaign in Cruel is a pain in the ass. But hey guys, this is only because of early access and the very first patch. They are going to fix this because when they add the later acts, they are going to remove the Cruel difficulty. This is just for now. So yes, maybe running the Cruel difficulty is a pain in the ass, but that is going to be removed. Now the 3 acts themselves, they are awesome, brother. They are good, and I don't think they should change in any way, shape, or form the way you level up the character. And when they add the 3 new acts, it will be even better. And if you want to know why I prefer playing the campaign through to skipping it, again, I have a video talking about it. Many reasons. You can benchmark yourself against the campaign. Skipping throws you right into the end game. So what the point when you should actually go into the end game, you are already bored of the end game, so you bounce back from the game faster and other stuff. But that is like the base, the gist of it, you know.
Mostly because, you know, you're held back by progressing through every map one by one. And then secondly, because all of the good abilities start to come later on. Your first hour, you have like 1 or 2 abilities. And it's such a slow burn before it starts getting fun.
Nah. I will argue the contrary. When you are slow and weak at the start of the game, that is the most fun part.
It doesn't
in
feel
the campaign, no?
appealing to go and do that. There's much other things that I'd rather do than do 6 acts all over again. And I think the further we go in this game, if that doesn't change, it's going to feel more and more tedious. You know, if they reset.
You also don't like the start of the campaign, Adriel. You like the blasting later. I love the start of the campaign because I like that feeling of you have to actually fight the boss. That is why I'm having fun in my punch challenge, because I have to actually fight the boss. I have to dodge mechanic. I have to engage with the fight. What people normally do is, I am going to get a crazy build. I am going to kill the boss as fast as I can to not have to engage with the campaign and get to the end game fast. I don't like that. I think the campaign is awesome. It is beautiful. It is a masterpiece, and I enjoy it a lot. And I have played it with many different builds.
Set this. They're planning to do a big reset in a few months when they do the next big content update. If I want to get my witch back to endgame, I've got to go through all 6 acts again. If I want to go get my monk to endgame again.
Now, you know what would help with this issue that they need to introduce into the game? I mean, I personally don't care, but I know a lot of people care, and this would greatly help with this problem. The respect of the ascendancy. Because a lot of people, for example, go Witch Hunter and they realize Witch Hunter sucks and they want to swap to Gemlin Legionnaire. You can't do it, and you have to create another character and go through the campaign again to be able to play the Gemlin Legionnaire. That is stupid. That is a waste of time. And if you don't enjoy the campaign, they are indeed wasting your time. So being able to switch between ascendancies would greatly help with this problem. And even if you like the campaign, but you don't want to do it for every single ascendancy, you just need to create one of the character of the class, and then you can choose between the 3 ascendancies when we have the ascendancies, and you just go through the campaign once, but you can access 3 different ascendancies. So the respect of the ascendancies will greatly help with this problem. And I do think they will eventually implement that, because this is one of the features that a lot of people want, and it helps with a bunch of other problems aside from this one. Campaign is the best part currently. Agree completely. I changed 7 characters, like it. I also play SSF. I like campaign. Oh, brother, the campaign in SSF is really cool because you have to challenge yourself to fix your problems, you know. And that is why the first time we play the campaign, which is basically SSF, because nobody's trading, because everybody's new, that part is really cool.
I want to play the new changes to the monk. I have to do 6 full acts again. And it's just not fun. It's not enjoyable. And I know everyone memes, you know, default bad, default bad. And Diablo 4 has a lot of problems. But one thing I think it does well is when you finish the story on your main character.
I hate that shit in Diablo 4. I think it has been detrimental to Diablo 4. Again, I have a video talking about this shit. And I don't agree at all with this point. The campaign skip in Diablo 4 was a massive mistake. And they should have gone with repeating the campaign every single time.
Character. When the new season comes out, or whenever something new comes out, there's just a button, skip campaign. And then you play your new character. The campaign is already completed. And you're pretty much at maps. You just go from 1 to...
Exactly, and that is a problem. That is a fucking problem. When you get to the level that you should be in endgame, you are already playing endgame for a long time, and you are bored, and you already want to go out. You can't make me grind endgame from level 1 to level 100, because then I will want to blow my brains out, because I am tired of grinding maps. The campaign is better because it forces you to do different stuff. And then when you actually get to maps, now you start maps, you are not bored to death of this shit. And that is just one of the cool things about doing the campaign. Speedrunning the campaign, doing challenges in the campaign, benchmarking yourself against the campaign, trying different builds during the campaign. There are a lot of cool things, but I think that the worst one, the worst offender is that starting endgame from level 1 is not a good thing. It will bounce you out of the game faster. You will spend less time in the game because you are already doing the endgame from level 1 than if I force you to do the campaign again. Doing the campaign is better. Skipping campaign in Diablo 4 is one of the worst mistakes they have ever done. And I was happy when I heard it. I thought it was good. But then after I tried a lot of Diablo 4 and I tried a lot of PoE 2, I realized that it was not good. It is worse and it is better to do the campaign again.
Max level in their version of maps, you just zoom to max level and then you do the end game. And I'm not saying this, you know, we should be able to zoom to end game in an hour, but there's got to be something better than running that campaign every single time there's a reset on every single character. And, you know, maybe you didn't even know that that's how this is going to work. Maybe this is your first day RPG, but I see it coming and I know I'm already burned out on the campaign. So yeah, I think that's going to be a problem. And I think
this could be a problem if the campaign sucked, but the campaign is fucking awesome.
One thing they could do to if they are 100% fixed on this is what we want you to spend hours on the campaign.
Fixed. They are not going to change.
Maps need to go. There's one thing that puts me off, and it's this zone is horrible. This zone is horrible. Every map towards the end of Act 3 is like these massive sprawling maps. You gotta go up one road, oh, dead end, up another road, dead end, oh, checkpoint, up.
That happens the first time when you don't know the layouts. I get it. And it is fine on the first time because you are discovering the game, dude. You are discovering the game. But now I do the campaign, now that I've done it several times, like, I don't know, with 10 characters and twice because of the cruel shit, I know already where I need to go and I zoom through these zones, dude. Because you already know where to go because you know the layouts. For example, one of the worst things the first time I played it was the Utsal zone when you go to the pass in the Val. When you fight a Viper, the boss that is like poison, that is the girl for the Val. That map was a pain in the ass. But now what do? You follow the road and you go like in under 2 minutes, you get to the place where the girl is at. You fight her, the next part of the map opens. You follow the road and you go to Agorath. In Agorath, you go up, you go to the right side towards the sacrificial heart. You stab the heart, you go to the middle side, and there is the entrance to the Doriani's lab. All of that you do under 5 minutes. From the start of going to the pass to fighting Doriani, 5 minutes. When you already know the layout, you know. So this is a knowledge thing, dude. Maybe they will do respect ascendancies, but don't know. I would like respect ascendancy. Yes, we don't know. I think they will do it because a lot of people like it, want it, and it exists in PoE 1. So if it didn't exist on PoE 1, I would say, oh, maybe they won't do it. But I think they will do it because it exists in PoE 1. Let's say if a ski campaign, then we do new content after that. What you want to do is become more bored than grinding net game, bro. Exactly, that is what I think, dude. He just yapping, dude. Yes, he has made 3 points, and I agree with one. The crafting one, which is obvious. I don't agree with the other two, but I know that a lot of people would agree with the first one.
Another road up this other winding path. It's not fun. Make the maps take like a couple of minutes, and I'll zoom through them. Like, but making this like a 1 hour chore experience, you gotta do it in Act 3 and you gotta do it.
I don't agree with this. This is some zoomer mentality, and not only zoomer mentality in the fact of zooming in PoE 1, but also zoomer mentality in real life. Zoomer the generation, you know. Like the kids. Zoomer mentality. Everything, ADHD, everything has to be fast and be over with. No, brother, enjoy the song. The songs are beautiful. The story is great. The scenarios, you are going to the past, the Val civilization in its peak. It is awesome. I understand that when you do it several times, it can get old. But at the same time, when you do it several times, you know where to go and you do it like that. So all the problems get fixed themselves. In my humble opinion, I can be wrong. If the majority of people think this is a problem, then surely this needs to be fixed, and I am the one that is wrong.
Again, on Cruel, I don't know who's enjoying that. I'm not. Maybe you are, but I think that needs a big change at the bare minimum. Okay, next up, I want to talk about the balance of the builds at the end game and the meta.
Now, this is a problem. This is true that this is a problem. But again, this happens in every game that has a meta game, which are even basketball, brother. Even the NBA has a meta game. What is the meta game in the NBA right now? Throw a lot of triples, because mathematically, even if you fail a lot of triples, the ones you do make, the 3-pointers, the ones that you do make, compensate for all the ones you miss, and it is better than throwing 2-pointers. So that is the meta game in the NBA right now, because they changed the rules and throwing triples is the best thing. But it didn't used to be like that. Every fucking game has a meta game. So it is not the fault of PoE that the meta game exists. And trust me, when they do a balance patch, which will happen in patch 0.2.0, another meta game will arise, a different one, but it will happen. That is why online games do patches regularly to shake up the meta. You have heard this expression, shake up the meta, because what you do is that what is OP changes, and then you can try something different and you don't get bored. The problem now is we have 3 months with the same meta game and we are bored with the builds. Now, having defended the position of metagaming is always going to exist, I do think that in PoE 2, the ceiling for the power of the builds is too high. The game gets crazy out of hand with one-shot mechanics, outwards and inwards. What I mean is that you one-shot everything and everything one-shots you. That is not how the game should be. That is not what the game teaches you at the start of the campaign. The game teaches you a different game. Yes, the game gets too fuckery in the end game, and they need to lower the ceiling of power that you get. So they slow the game down, not only on your power, but also on the power of the mobs and the bosses, so that you can allow lesser builds to be able to clear the content in end game. Because right now the builds, there are very few builds that can clear everything, and all those builds are bullshit, like the spin to win build that you saw me play a little bit, that you thought my character was having a seizure, because it is stupid that that build exists even in the first place. So yes, this is something that needs a fixing. And of course, a balance patch shakes up the meta and fixes the builds right now. But if they don't fix fundamentally the philosophy of the ceiling of power and what the mobs and bosses do in the end game, this problem will arise again in the future. Unless that is his vision, that is his intention, their intention. They want the game to be like that, then we have nothing to do about it, you know. Nah, it's like classic WoW. I like when the world seems big. Yes, I like it too. But again, like when I said when the game launched that I like the big zones, people told me that I was crazy because the zones were too big. And I said, this is the first time in my 20 years or more playing games that I have heard that they think that something is too big. We always ask for more content, and these people are asking for less content. What the fuck, dude? Like, this is the first time that I have heard this shit, dude. So yes, what I mean is that there are 2 ways of looking at the balancing. One, it will be fixed, obviously, when a balance patch drops. The builds that are OP are going to get nerfed. The builds that suck are going to get buffed. The meta is going to be shaked up. But we will see a meta that is, again, sumsumi, one-shotty, bullshit, if they don't fundamentally fix the way the game works. So these are 2 different things. But I agree with him that the balance is one of the things that need to change. But I will say the second thing, they need to lower the ceiling of power of us and the mobs and the bosses. Not just shake up the meta, because that is going to happen either way. That is always going to happen. That is my point in here.
And the requirement to always play the meta, because I think that is a problem. So right now, if you were to look at any build, find a random build, I've made a few builds as well, I'm guilty of this, any build online, and look what it does. It's probably using these 2 abilities, Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder, in combination to wipe the entire screen. If you just Google like best Titan build, click it.
But again, they can nerf that, and then you check up the meta. But if they don't fundamentally change how the game works, then you will look for the next Herald of bullshit shit, right? That is what I'm trying to say.
Always using Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder to wipe the screen. Best Ranger build, Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder to wipe the screen. And then if they're not doing that, they're stat stacking. So they get...
And by the way, yes, even if they do what I am saying, which is lowering the ceiling of the skills, there are going to be OP characters or builds in that paradigm too, because again, metagaming always exists. So even if they change the paradigm of how the game works in endgame, there are still going to be the OP builds. People are going to still look for the OP shit, but the way that it interacts with the game will be different. There are still going to be OP builds, but the game is going to be slower and combat more meaningful. That is what I want. Maybe they won't do it because maybe the current state of things is what they want. I just want the game to be fundamentally played different, the combat in the end game. There are always going to be a meta, always powerful builds, but you can also allow a more variety of builds if you make it so that more builds can complete the content. That is also true, and that is also related to balance and the way characters function. But I am telling this that you don't think that I am dumb, that I don't think that if they lower the ceiling, then there are no OP builds and there are no meta. No, this is always going to exist. I know this. I started my whole run saying to you that meta exists in everything. So I know that it's going to happen, but what I mean with this is that fundamental change on how the game is played.
In tons of decks, they're using the hand of wisdom and action. They're using the staff. They're using the chess piece. They're doing all this, and they're just stacking all their stats to wipe the screen. And loads of builds all fall into one of these categories that are using these overpowered things. And that's a problem in Path of Exile because every build can use everything. If you were to look at other MMOs, like using Diablo as an example, a sorceress is a sorceress. You can use fireballs, you can use ice, you can use lightning. A necromancer can only use necromancer abilities and minions. Whereas in Path of Exile, everyone can do everything. So we're getting these,
which, by the way, is one of the coolest things in Path of Exile. Like, this is one of the things that everybody praises about Path of Exile, that you can do everything with every character.
Mercenaries with crossbows running around with staffs, quarterstaffs. We're getting like witches running around with sorcerer abilities. And if one thing is meta, if one thing is super overpowered, all the builds will funnel to it. And that's causing a pretty dry meta. And that normally would be fine. I love playing non-meta builds in games. I think non-meta builds are really fun to try and just make weird, quirky builds. But in Path of Exile, it's so punishing that you're punished so hard for not playing the meta. Say you did make, you put up all the time to make these really good map layouts where you had these really juiced maps. You had this where you've got a really good breach, or you set up a really good ritual setup where you had like really good rituals, like I don't know, like this one over here. You had like a decent ritual. So you've got a good ritual map and you set it up, it took you a while, and then you run it and you run a non-meta build, you run a pretty average build that's just a bit fun, and you fail it. You get one shot. Well, you lose that map, so that map gets wiped. It will no longer have a ritual or a boss, it'll have nothing on it, it'll be a blank map. You lose the waystone, which probably took you a while to get a good waystone. You lose.
I would prefer that he use this one thing as one of the things that should be improved in the end game. That dying is too punishing. I like it being punishing. I like it that the game encourages you to get your defenses up and not be a glass cannon build. But it is too much. It is too punishing. Like, you have to remove one of the things. If you want me to just have one portal, don't take away experience from me. If you want to take experience from me, then don't take away the mechanics from the map when I die. Like, something has to give, That would be one of the things that I would put in the top 5 things that need to be addressed. Because balance is always going to change. Balance is always going to change.
XP, which, yeah, okay.
Yes, this is an endgame problem. Yo, Marty, my dude, how you doing, brother? Punishing just means harder gameplay. Not necessarily. I like the harder gameplay. It means what I am saying, that if you die, they take away like 3 things from you. They close the map that you were doing, and any item that was on the floor is deleted. They take away the mechanics from the map. They take away the waystone that you use, that sometimes you use currency on the waystone, like regal orbs, bal orbs, exalted orbs, even layers of delirium. So one waystone can cost more than 10 exalteds. You lose that too. And you lose 10% of your experience bar. That is punishing. That doesn't make the game necessarily harder because that is after you die. So you have to try to not die. But you are playing softcore because you want to be allowed to die. I like that they are incentivizing you to try to not die, which is cool, and not be a glass cannon and build your character to try to survive. But the game is also bullshit and one-shots you out of nowhere. So you, a lot of times you die out of nowhere and then you are too punished for that death. Something has to give. I like that you are punishing me, daddy. That is fun. Punish me. But it is too much. Now it is not punish fun. It is punish motherfucker. You know, that is what I'm saying. Remove one of the things that you are taking away from me. Punishing stuff should stay for HC and normal mode should be changed a bit. Exactly, brother. I agree completely with that, my dude. That's me, okay. I was trying to figure out what the 5 and the 3 were, but you are saying that's me, okay. Why not they do the same like Arbiter, you got 3 attempts or 6, but if you die, you need to restart, your opinion. Yes, I think they will figure something out about it. Like, they say that they want to keep the one death, but maybe they can tweak something else, or they just outright delete the one death thing and they do something else. I don't know, but they are going to tweak it 100% because this is one of the top 5 things that I need that actually needs an improvement in the game. I don't have the exact answer. My exact answer is one of the things had to go away. Which one? I don't know. That is up to GG to figure out. The ones that I dislike the most is removing XP. I don't like it when I die and you take XP away. There are people that say that this is necessary because if not, everybody's level 100. I don't see a problem if everybody is level 100, but okay. If you are not taking the XP, take something else. That is what I think, basically. And it is up to you to figure out which one.
And at high levels, that can be a significant amount of XP. So you're punished so hard for failing. And that's not even talking about like Trials of Sekima, where losing in there feels rough. There's so much punishment for actually failing that you're kind of pushed to just play the meta. You know, you don't want to lose that. You don't want to be doing a Breachstone, fail it, and lose your Breachstone. You don't want to lose the time that you've put into the game because you're choosing to play it on hard mode. And I think that is causing so many people to play these boring builds. Not boring, but repetitive builds. It's causing me to play a fairly repetitive build. Now I've got a good amount of divines. I got a good setup. I'm going to try some more, you know, less meta, more quirky builds. But I don't know how long I'm going to last because I don't like losing all my stuff. I don't like losing all the time I put into this stupid map. So yeah, I think that's something that needs work. I don't know how they fix it because I don't think balancing it halfway through a season, a league is a good idea. You know, when they took away cast on, when they nerfed all that, I was playing a cast on freeze sorceress and it was horrible. So I don't think taking stuff away from people mid-league.
That is exactly why they decided to not do it mid-league. But now that we are 3 months without a balance shake-off, then people are saying, oh, they have to do it mid-season. Then what the fuck do you want? If they nerf your build, you complain. If they don't nerf it, you complain. You are leaving them with no choice, dude. But that is why they decided, you know what? We are not nerfing anything. Let people enjoy the season. And then when the next big patch drop, then we nerf everything to the ground. And you know what? I agree with that approach because what he's saying, when they nerf the Comet, people complain. So they say, you know what? We are not going to fix to nerf anything else. We are going to wait. Of course, there can be a middle ground. I nerf you, but I give you something, which people ask, okay, nerf me, but give me back the gold to respec, or give me a free respec so I don't break my character. That is a middle ground that can be achieved. Maybe that is a pain in the ass for them and they don't want to do it and they prefer to just wait. But when they decided to wait, then another group of people say, hey, the game is broken and you are not balancing shit. Like, it is a tough spot to be in, dude. Why not they do this? Like, okay, he's right on this point. Yes, he's kind of right on this point, but what I just said is also true, right?
League is fun, but letting it go like this, so dry and so, repetitive, isn't the way to go either. Let me know what you think would be a good fix. I guess you could say, make the end game less hardcore and less punishing. I don't know if that's the right answer either, but I don't know how to fix it, but it's definitely a problem. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Okay, the last thing, I'm just going to kind of bucket it as more quality of life. They need to do like a quality of life.
And this is true. The game needs a lot, and I mean a lot of quality of life. But again, symptoms of early access, right? I have to think that as the game progresses, they are going to introduce quality of life fixes for a lot of bullshit that sucks dick. For example, managing your inventory sucks dick. Not being able to just click an item and equipping it sucks. That you have to drag the item. What are we in 1999? What is this bullshit? That is one example, but there are many examples. I play non meta builds. I got level 85. It's logical for me, level 85 hard, 95. Just my opinion. Yes, there comes a point, and that is one of the problems, dude. There comes a point that if you are not playing a meta build, and that goes back to my point about lowering the ceiling, that if you are not playing a meta build, you are not completing the challenges in the game. Like if you want to do Arbiter of Ash in the 4th level, like basically the hardest encounter in the game, Arbiter of Ash level 4, you have to play a meta build or this is not happening for you, you know? Maybe that is the intended way it has to work for them. Like, not everybody with every crazy build should be able to come in here and kill the boss. I don't know. That is a decision for GG to make. It is early access. Nerf everything all the time, but then allow free respect so more stuff gets tested, in my opinion. Yes, that is why I say like the middle ground, right? They nerf you, but they give you something so that it is not as painful. Gold or gear or respect or whatever. But maybe that takes extra time and they don't want to deal with that shit. And that is why they just decided, you know what, fuck them, just let's wait. But I agree with you, the middle ground would be the best choice.
Overhaul. I think there's if I want to play Path of Exile 2 for 3 hours, I want to spend like 2 hours, 45 minutes just blasting maps back to back. And all the loot should just go somewhere. The loot should just be a non-factor. Like, I'm not saying just give us a pet that picks everything up for us and does everything for us, but there needs to be something to give us more time in the game and less time in our hideouts. So some of the big problems, number one, we need a map stash tab. I think this is probably coming soon.
We already have it. We are in the future. In the future, we already have the map stash tab, by the way. And yes, you know what? I said it yesterday with the expedition shit. In PoE 1, the expedition currency gets instantly sent to your expedition bullshit. In PoE 2, you have to pick up your expedition. That is stupid. In PoE 2, you have to pick up your breach fragments. So you have to blast all the way through. And after you open the whole breach and blast everything and the breach closes, you have to backtrack all that you kill and go picking up each breach fragment one by one. Hey, GG, this is the stupidest thing in the fucking world. Just send a check to my character like gold. You have to pick it up. Or send it to my character, or put it in one place after the breach closes, and I just do one click instead of 1,000 clicks looking for all the fucking fragments. You have to do something about this, brother. And there are many more quality of life things that can happen in PoE 2. But again, this is a symptom of an early access title. I have to think that they are going to be fixing progressively most of them, right? Right? The game is not going to get launched and you have to pick up every single fragment, right? Right?
We need it immediately. It's so tedious because I think Waystones as a whole just aren't good. You want to make a bunch of 15s. You got to turn your 10s to 11s, your 11s to 12s, and all of that drops at endgame. You could be running the hardest maps in the game and a tier 12 Waystone will drop. So you got to keep them and upgrade them to 13s and 14s and 15s, and then you got to craft on them, and then okay, that's got nothing good on it. And
you don't have
so
to
many
do it.
bad
I don't
things
do
that can roll.
I have my filter that I only see tier 14 and tier 15. I don't see any other tier. I never pick them up. I never have to pick up any other map, and I never go out of maps. Or the contrary, I have so many maps that I don't know what to do with them, and I just go with the ones that have quantity and rarity, and I just sell all the other ones because maps sell for good gold. If you didn't know this, you can sell your not used maps to Doriani, and one map can go for, like, I don't know, 15k gold, 20k gold. They sell for good gold.
Out of all of these, I've put down 3 ones that are good that I want to run soon. So I think Waystones as a whole are so tedious, and they just come into the mapping. They make mapping more of a chore. Next, when you run a map, I think there should be some way to finish a map and then be back into a map as fast as possible. So say I've got a fairly decent amount of stash tabs, they're numbered.
Brother, I don't know this dude, but and I don't want to be judgmental because he has given some great points and I like the video. But at the same time, I feel he's a or a D4 Andy or a PoE 1 Andy. He just want to blast, 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 and nothing else matters. Like, there is not a moment of just chilling out. Like, I don't know. He just blasts all the time. I don't want to do anything but just map, back to back, killing. Just have a layout where you can kill everything and killing, and you go out and killing. I don't even want to pick up loot. I just want to kill. That gets solved really fast, my dude. That gets solved really fast. You have to spice up the gameplay, dude. You have to spice up the gameplay.
They're labeled. I've done the work to get a load of stash tabs. But then when I come back, let's say you do a breach. Let's say you do a breach and it's got like 3 breaches in it and you have an inventory full. You've got to manually pick up every single breach splinter, click every single one.
Hey, he's saying the same thing I said. Based. That is why I said that the dude is bringing up good points. He's bringing up my good point. In PoE 1, an expedition stash, we don't have that in PoE 2. I think that's why they don't get automatically sent. Well, they have to figure that out. Give me the expedition stash then. What are you doing? They have to figure that shit out.
Until you have a full inventory, and then you're gonna come. I go here, and I'm gonna put my breach splinters up here, and then I put my breach things. I gotta go put my essences in here, and then I put my delirium stuff in here, and then I put my gems in here. I wish there was just like an auto sort button. You just walk up to, you open the stash, you press a button, and this just goes where it needs to go. It's so long. And I mean, yeah, you could just dump everything in one tab, which I do sometimes, but then you've got to manually go through it all afterwards. I think the process just be easier. Like, oh, I've got something that I need to salvage. Okay, I'll salvage this because it's got quality. I need to go reforge this. It's got this. And then I need to go through. Give us an auto sort. Just give us some button. We press it and everything goes where it needs to go. I think that would be so much nicer. And trading, don't even get me started on trading. How this released with trading like this, where you go, I'm gonna make it.
This is one of the things that I will put in the top 5. Trading. I have like 4 videos complaining about trading. Trading sucks dick in PoE. In both PoEs. Not only in 2. In 1, 2. You have to go to a website outside of the game. You have to put the item on the stash. You have to, if you are buying, you have to hope they answer your whispers to be able to buy this shit. If you are selling and you are blasting on a map, you have to stop doing what you are doing, TP out to be able to give the item to this dude. The whole fucking shit sucks. Just put the website inside of the game and do instant buyouts. Everybody will be happier. Just do that shit. Trading in PoE in both of them sucks dick. I agree with this completely, very based. Yes, bro, no subbing, please, in PoE 2. I have enough in PoE 1. Yes, bro, yes, I agree completely. You guys know that I prefer the slower combat.
Tab, and I'm going to put things in the tab, and then if somebody wants this item, they can whisper me. It's so dumb, man. You have this exchange, which is beautiful. You say, oh, I want a breach zone. You go, okay, I want a breach zone. I've got exalteds. Okay, 200 exalteds for a breach zone. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Done. And it's done. It's so clean, so nice. But then anything that's not on, anything that's not on the exchange, anything that doesn't fall into these brackets has to go through this system where, you have to go in, you have to look it up on the market of what it is, to look it up on the trade site of how much it's going for, and then you have to try and value it yourself, and then you have to place it in a tab, and or maybe you need to get more tabs from the store because you want to sell a few things because you're playing the game a lot, and then you have to list them, and then you go run a map, and then someone goes, oh, I'd like to buy your item. You got to leave your map, and then you whisper someone because
he's saying what I said. It is stupid, brother. This should be one of the top 3, brother. You started with other shit. This is one of the most important ones, dude. Like, the trading sucks dick. And if you want me to not trade, and I am talking about to Gigi in this moment, if you want me to not trade because you think trading is too OP, then don't balance the game around trading and make SSF better so that people play SSF. But if you don't want to do that, then don't make trading suck so much dick, because you don't know if you want me to trade or you don't want me to trade. It sucks. It needs to be improved. I know that PoE 1 people are already used to trading. Hell, I am used to trading now in PoE 2 because I've been doing it for 3 months. But it is not a good system. a lot of new people bounce back because of the trading system, and they decide to not trade and have a worse experience in the game because of the huge amount of work that trading requires. When you actually release the game free to play and you get over 2 million players on all platforms, people are going to complain about trading sucking dick. Fix it before then, please. It's even worse than they message you when you are in a trial. Exactly, in a trial, if I go out of the trial of chaos, I lose a trial. I have to complete the room. Okay, you can go out between rooms. But if I am in the middle of a room, I can't leave. I have to complete it. So what if you are doing the trial of chaos and you are escorting the statue? You have to wait until the statue gets to the end. When that actually happens, you invite the dude to the party. He no longer wants to trade with you because you took too long to invite them. System sucks dick.
You want to buy their things and none of them are replying. The whole thing is terrible, and I'd just play solo self-found if the crafting was good, but it isn't. So yeah,
he's connecting it with the other problem. Exactly what I said, brother. Hey, we are connected on this one, my dude. We agree completely on this one. I am sorry if on the other points I push back. This is just talking about the game, nothing personal, of course. I am happy and grateful for the video. It is a great video.
Trade, I don't know, get rid of it. Give us an in-game marketplace. You know, it's 2025. Just commit to an in-game marketplace. Upgrade.
And if you don't want to do the marketplace because you think that the auction house is too powerful, then don't balance the game around that and balance it. What Last Epoch did. Last Epoch has the two factions, and one of the factions is for trading, and one of the factions is for solo self-found. Do that. Oh, I don't want trading to be too powerful. Improve solo self-found and make the game solo self-found. But you want to have this thing where everything is tradable and be a game where nothing bounds to your character and I am cool and everything is tradable, but at the same time trading sucks. But at the same time you balance around trading. So figure this shit out, man. What do you want me to do? To trade or not to trade? Because I don't know what you want. And again, if you don't want me to trade, improve solo self-found, remove trading, and make it better. Do the Last Epoch system with the two systems coexisting and both of them are cool. I don't know, but this shit something has to give because trading sucks. And you have to trade if you want to do the cool shit. Yo, Auntie, my dude, how you doing, brother?
Upgrade Alva to have every item, or upgrade Alva to have searchable filters for armor and weapons and all the things that go on the trade site. Jewels, all that stuff. It would be so much.
Yo! Auntie, my brother, you gifted 10 subs! I believe this is the time someone has gifted the most amount of subs. This is fucking awesome, brother. Auntie, my dude, thank you for the support, brother. You are fucking insane, dude. You are fucking insane, brother. Thank you very much, my dude. Thank you very much, brother. Welcome to the pack to everybody that got the sub, brother. That got gifted the sub, my dude. I got paid today. You're welcome. Oh, brother. Thank you very much, brother. Thanks a lot, dude. Congrats on the payment, dude. That is so fucking cool, brother, my dude.
Nicer quality of life. That's this section. I don't make rant videos. I make a lot of guides and builds. But today, I just wanted to get it all out there. I wanted to just share all the things that I think need to change. I'm not going anywhere. I love the game, but we need to talk about the problems because they're here. But yeah, that's the video.
I agree with that perspective. I also love the game. I am addicted. I am hooked. But that doesn't mean that I am blind to the obvious things that need to be improved, right?
I'd love to hear what you think. Do you resonate with any of these? Can you relate to any of these problems?
With some of them, not.
And what would you say are the big things that you're facing as you're playing the game? What are the big things that you think need a...
Now that we've been talking about what is my top 5? Trading is 1. The punishment of death 2. I would also say crafting, but crafting is going to be fixed. The ceiling, what we discussed with balance, not necessarily balance, but the transition of how the game is one thing on the early game and then it is a different thing on the end game. You have 4 right there. What will be the 5th? I don't know. You have there you have my top 4 things that need to improve. Trading, the ceiling of the power in the end game, crafting, what was the other one? I forgot completely. Well, If you have the video, you know them. If you have the video, you know them. Hey, dude, Medieval Marty. This was an awesome video, dude. Thank you very much for the video. It prompted us to talk about cool shit relating to the state of PoE 2. And now I am thinking maybe I need to do a video talking about the top 5 things that I would want to see improve in the game. Because, that is a quality of life. I have also said that several times. The stupidest thing I have ever seen in my life is that you have to click the fucking well every time you go to town. How stupid is that, brother? Who came up with that shit? Just fill my flask automatically when I go to town. What is this stupidity, dude? Now I am paranoid every single time that I go to town, and I am paranoid, and I click the bell like 5 times. The well, because I don't want to go back to where I was without filling up the flask, because it has happened to me, and then I have to go back again. So since I don't have to waste time, every time that I go to town, I am paranoid and I am clicking that shit like 70 times. That is stupid, dude. But yes, brother, Medieval Marty, cool video, brother. Thank you very much, dude. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I a clown? Am I a genius? Let me know everything in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also, remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are fucking awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.